This means that 8 out of every 10 people in the US are slaves.
I've
And
been
if you think
saying
slavery
this
was
shit for
abolished
so
centuries
long,
ago,
man.
think again. Because the number of slaves in this world has never been as high as it is today. They're just modern day slaves. And the way that you keep slaves happy is by leading them to believe that they're not slaves at all, which is exactly what debt allows them to do. Now compare this to the social structures of the Dark Ages, and at the time you were basically part of one of 3 different groups. You were either in a position of power, such as kings or noble family or part of the church, those were the puppet masters of the time, the ones pulling the strings, or you were a vessel, the class that protected the puppet masters and executed their agendas, basically the politicians, journalists, big corporate tycoons, and woke celebrities of today. And if you weren't part of any of those 2, you were a peasant, which is really just a soft word for slave. You basically worked all day, every day, just to have enough money to pay for dinner, which is exactly what 80% of the world's population is today. They work all day, every day, just to end up with enough money to pay the bills and nothing left at the end of the month. Modern day slaves, and that's not all. In fact, there's far more dirt under the rug. Debt is just one of the multiple tools they use. They have another tool that is just as effective, if not even more effective than debt. And I'm going to reveal that to you in the second episode and show you exactly how to protect yourself against it. Now the fact is, we are in a situation today where the puppet masters are on the verge of successfully implementing their mass control plan. And it basically consists of 3 big phases. Phase 1, implement modern day slavery. And they already successfully completed this phase through debt and through the second mass control tool that I'll reveal during our second episode of Digital Renaissance. Phase 2, silencing. And historically, whenever a group of people try to control entire nations, there's always a few individuals who stand up against it. If they get enough momentum, a revolution starts. And the puppet masters are well aware of this risk, and the best way to avoid it from happening is by making sure that no one hears these individuals. Basically,
pay attention to your people that get silenced.
The phase of the plan that they're currently
Wake the fuck up!
Phase, complete control. And this is where an era of total government control and surveillance begins. And it all starts with our social credit system, which sets the stage for legal government surveillance of its citizens, total control over your bank accounts and purchases, and internet access. They will even be able to take away your ability to travel. And if they manage to get to the final phase, well then welcome to an era of total surveillance and tyranny. They will be able to force you to comply with their agenda, because if you don't, they just shut off your money. And that'll be the end of people speaking up for themselves. They would have successfully silenced everyone. It'll be the end of our ability to question things and do what we believe is right for us and the people around us. And if we don't step up and stop this from happening, the next, God knows how many centuries, are not going to look very pretty for any of us. And the puppet masters already